All right, recording. Uh, I guess I hit the wrong button or something with that with my previous critique of this video, and so we're gonna try it again. Just gonna keep working at this, and I have no idea why my voice is. I'll tell you what. While I'm introducing this, I have no idea why my voice keeps going weird. I don't know. I don't get it. Okay, larger cursor. Here we go. So most likely the team marched in, halted, and then order arms, left face, guidon comes up, and then the commander gives that dress right dress. So that's good. Now, what I hope didn't happen was that the commander actually said fall in, and then have that then have the need to dress right dress and then cover. Now, for those in the Army and the Air Force, if you're going to watch this, and I hope others are watching this because you can learn from other teams, definitely. Army and Air Force, we don't give dress right dress and then ready front and cover. It's just dress right dress and then ready front, because we cover automatically, we dress automatically, etc. All right, I'm going to try and not to make this 45 minutes long. So I can already see that you're out of alignment here, cadet. And then see, there's alignment problems here. You can look at the shoulders. Now, I know there are variations in shoulder width. I get it. But you can still see, and I can't move over here to look down the ranks. I really wish I could to see a different perspective. But you can see it after the facing movement here. So, and I pointed this out before. See, you can see the heels here. Heels look like they might be online. These two definitely look online. This cadet looks to be a little bit further back. The center cadet here, up farther. Cadet does a guidon bearer does a great job. And then I talked in the last video. I talked about relaxed arm, the slight bend in the elbow. And that first step, remember, the first step, you can only clear the deck with your steps. Just like you're marching. The first step, that exaggerated goose step, has to go. And then, Commander, we actually talked. I deleted that video since it was just so bad. We talked before about you having to step back and step forward, and you did the best you could with the ridiculous requirements of it was either the head judge or the SOP or both. But remember that you don't want your hips forward, and even if the Marine Corps order shows the officer and the NCO at present with their hips jutted forward, it looks absolutely ridiculous. It's bad posture, and it's not proper technique. All right, we'll continue here. And I'm pretty sure that I said whatever school this is, your guidon needs to be tightened. You need to put graphite on the middle screw joint, and probably also on the threads of the spade. But you also need to tighten on that middle screw joint. You need to tighten all those little screws that are around there, top and bottom. That's your responsibility there, guidon bearer. New Mexico Military Institute. I probably didn't mention this before, but good command voice, Commander, and also good report in. So you did it at the end of this. Oh, man. Are you kidding me? All right, there. So, guidon bearer, you did it before. Before you did it when I watched the video. It's at the end when for the report out, you actually bring your hand down after tucking the guidon away properly and letting it fall. You bring your left hand down with the rest of the platoon, and it looks so much better when you do that. And I'll bring it up again for those who are watching this for the first time. The commands are too slow. The cadence is too slow. Now the head dip there to look down the non-existent chamber, there was timing problems there all throughout the platoon. But great spacing here. Look at that. Really very consistent. And it looks like you are an arm and 6 away. Arm and 6 inches away, depth-wise. Good job on the hand wrap around the rifle, just under the stacking swivel. So the cadence for the Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard is 112 to 120, and you need to set your cadence to mid-range, which would be 116. And then also, I just want to point this out really quickly. Going to left shoulder, this cadet, he's probably getting tired of being picked on. This cadet, and I'll use this rifle here. Okay, make sure I'm positioned well. All right, so he went up to grab. Everything was fine. Went to the port position. Everything's fine here as long as the rifle is a 4-inch distance away from the breastbone here. So, and I can't do it here because of my posture. But what he did then, it was after, let me raise my hand up. When he dropped his right hand away to go to the butt of the rifle, he pushed the rifle out even farther so that there was more of a gap. Once you go to the port position, and the port position is the rifle across your body, port arms is both hands on the rifle. The port position is one hand, either hand, doesn't matter. So when you're in the port position, it needs to stay in the port position. So when you transition your right hand down to the butt of the rifle needs to stay exactly where it is. And I mentioned this in the previous video, but I need to do it again. So as you're executing this move, the cadence here is too slow. But Commander, you're calling left, right, and positioning yourself, and that's good. You're doing fine there. However, you're calling left, right when there is no marching. So you're calling cadence for everything, but why are you calling cadence? Are you required to call cadence during the in college ROTC? Teams are required to call, the commander's required to call cadence, which I find silly. My philosophy is, if you need to call cadence, you need more practice. So, but the team obviously doesn't need more practice here, so I don't understand why you would call cadence when it's not necessary. So, is the team relying on the cadence all the time then to stay in that tempo, which is actually too slow? So, something to consider. So, good toe strike throughout. That's really wild that you had to call close so quickly and halt. So after just a brief back and forth with the commander. So here you're at close, you execute column right. That I don't understand. That command right there, it sounds like you called close march again. I don't know. But technically, and I know that it's the the sequence was written incorrectly. So if you were to give extend, you would have added a command, and they would have had to take off for it. Which that drill meet hosts, if you're going to host a drill meet, then you need to do the right thing. You need to actually check the sequence of commands. And headquarters Naval JROTC, if you're the ones who created these commands, then come on, we can do a lot better than that. All right, great chain step. That really worked well. We used to all of the services used to actually skip, and everybody had this bobbing effect. It was really bad. See here, the team had to accordion out just because you can't flank at when you're at marching at close interval. So extend, you need to put extend in there, and this is not directed toward the commander. This is whoever created the sequence. You need to put extend in there. So one of the things that some teams can really find difficulty is when the squad leaders or the element leaders aren't leading, because the whole team is so used to the trained squad or element leaders leading. They're strong marchers, they know what they're doing, and everybody relies heavily on them. So that when a team faces any other direction and marches a short distance with the squad leaders to their left or to their right or behind them, then the team, then you see the falling apart, the dress and the cover falls apart. The team starts to go. One squad goes this way, the other squad goes that way. It starts to get bad. Even cadence can fall apart. But here, this shows that you've practiced, that you've trained well, and that you've practiced. Everything is just fine with that right flank. And it looks like you're executing the flanks very well, not dipping with the knee, not dipping the shoulder. I want to see that rear march again. Good exchange there. So a little bit of a slap movement. All right, or with the foot. So a little bit of a slap. Now I know that we turn on the platform of each foot. The platform is the ball of the foot that knuckle there for the toes, and which is, same thing with your hand. The ball of the foot, which is that position right there on your hand, you could say. I'm not going to pull my foot up into the camera. You're welcome. So the ball of the foot and everything forward. All right. So you're not up on your toes. We don't turn on our toes. That's a misnomer. People do say turn on your toes, but we actually turn on that platform, that all of that platform there. And I know you turn on it, but you don't smack your foot down into that position. You actually heel strike, roll forward, and then turn. So it's a bit of a, watch it just one more time here. Yeah, and there's also variation of technique in where the foot is placed. I just noticed, I think it was third squad leader. I'm not sure. And, it doesn't matter if the people that I point out they're seniors this year and they'll graduate, so then in the 2020-2021 school year, those people won't be there. What I'm doing is pointing out technique so that the cadets who are going to march next season, and even the cadets I point out if they go on to march in college, then they don't do they don't make the mistakes that they're making. So I'm pretty certain that third squad leader, as he marched and came to execute the to the rear, that he crossed over his left foot and then turned. I'm very certain of that. So we can watch that again. As I am. Watch. See? He did. He crossed over. So that's not a technique. Actually, for any service, nobody crosses over. The closest that we come to is the Air Force, where they go put the feet on one line, which makes complete sense. Nobody else does that. All the other services still have that gap, and you turn so that your legs are crossed. Just slightly, but there's a much better technique to do that. So you have to then make sure that technique is uniform throughout. Good. Now you're going to go for the eyes right. So I understand that the commander moved. I'm not sure. Maybe the SOP said to move from the 6 paces because that's the officer position. The officer marches there. So I get it. Maybe that was the case. For junior ROTC, officer NCO type position doesn't matter in competition. It matters in other formations, but it doesn't matter in competition because you maintain a 3-step distance, a 6-step distance marching the team around, and it would be a bit strange. You'd run out of room. So 3-step is the standard, but I don't know about moving back to the 6 steps. Like I said, it could be the technique that was required in the SOP. Good job. Yeah, very nice. Good. Commander, you have a tendency to march with your feet almost on a straight line, and if we go, I'm not going to, but if you go back to that column, the column just before the flank that was over here, you can see that your feet are coming really close to marching on a single line. Gotta have those steps to be the same length, the same, width here. Let's go back and watch that right shoulder again. Good. Look at those nice parallel forearms. Really well done. Oh, but you have donuts here. So the donut, the grip on the rifle is only for the Army. This is the Marine Corps, Navy, Coast Guard. So you're going to have a split here. You're going to keep those fingers separated on the heel of the butt of the rifle, but here you're going to close that gap. So after that left shoulder, you can see, let me show you, you can see some, now watch. You can see a couple of angles here. So a couple, especially the last cadet here, needs to bring, and I'll hold my arm up here, needs to bring the butt to his right, so that the rifle isn't pointing back that way. It's pointing straight behind. That's what he wants. That's what you need. And even during that marked time, you can see a couple of rifles are, the barrels are moving back and forth. So, and I know it's difficult. It takes a lot of practice, but that from the waist above, shouldn't move. And when you have a rifle there, then it gets a little bit more of a challenge. Now watch the step height here. As the team comes around on this column left, watch really high knees, and that's, again, the team needs to lift the foot 2 inches. This is for mark time, 2 inches at the toe, 4 inches for the heel. But when you're marching, it's just enough to clear the deck. Okay. So that was not consecutive steps there, Commander, for you to call that halt. Coming up on 23 minutes, and I'm still recording. What a silly requirement, Commander. There, see the arm drop with the rest of the platoon. Nice. Guide on. Okay. Wow, I'm just want to keep it on there. I'm very impressed, honestly. The team did a fantastic job. A couple of things here and there that you need to work on. definite adjustments need to be made, and then there were things out of your control that you had to deal with. So you did the best you could, and that's great. I'm really glad, really glad. So what I could do now is it's just over 25 minutes that I've been recording, so I could just keep talking for another 20 or so minutes to make my videos consistent. But of course not. I won't do that. All right. If you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them below. But thank you so much for the requests, Northmont High School. You've done an outstanding job. The senior chief there as well you can tell that there's oversight. Some JROTC units don't have that good oversight, and I always appreciate good instructors who are involved with their cadets. So that's it's an awesome job. It's a testament to the leadership all around, from both the instructors on down to all the cadets. You're doing a great job. You're on your way to continued excellence. All right, that's it for me. Thank you.